Hi, my name is Angela C. Coles, and I am on the E&E Style Showcase, and I have the honor and privilege of being with Miss Sandra. Hi, Sandra. How are
Hi,
you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Your outfit is absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
So while we're here, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Well, I have two businesses. First, I sell African attire.
Okay.
And as the earlier guest said, instead of saying sell, I like to say, experience. Like, for instance, my logo is wear a piece of history.
Nice.
And yes, the attire is from Nigeria. That's where my
Okay.
husband is from.
Okay.
Prior to that, I always loved African attire because I just felt like I just said it's a piece of history.
Yes.
And so I do that. Sell very cheap. I started out sharing like with my family at church for for Black History Month and
Okay.
stuff like that. They would come to me for attire. And it was like so overwhelming. They wanted more and more, and different people would ask. And so I started, selling them for a very small price.
Okay.
And also kind of similar to that, my other business is I do like fruit sticks.
Nice.
Yeah, for the kids. It started out with my daughter at school. They'll have events and a parent would have to bring stuff in and I would bring that. And I didn't think the kids would want fruit, but I make them pretty. Like,
Gotcha.
I put a lot of color, there's some sweet one mixed with the real healthy ones. And so I do that. I did it for the Memorial Day and stuff at the church and everything. And so everyone started saying, oh my gosh, your platters are so pretty. Why don't you do a business or something look like that? And I was like, okay, so little and little I started, doing them for different people, the school, friends, Girl Scouts, everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, how do you keep your business going? Like, I see when you got it started, but like, what does it take to keep it going?
A lot of feedback
Okay.
from not only the kids about what they like and don't like to make them better. Different outlets, not only at church, but for weddings, baby showers, like stuff like that. With the African attire, I try to wear them. Try to do like a fashion show, which I don't do
Yes.
much of. That's something I would like to do a little
Okay.
more, just to kind of put it out there.
Okay.
So that's about that, yeah.
Well, I would definitely tell you, I'm a size whatever I am. Please, I
Okay.
would love to, walk in your fashion show. And I will be
Good.
getting married soon, so I know where I'm going for
Oh,
favors.
wow,
Thank you,
wow.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Fine
I wore
connections.
African attire for my wedding.
Gotcha.
And yeah, by choice. A lot of
Yes,
people
yes.
feel like, oh, wear the traditional wear. And I was like, no, I want to wear African
Yes,
attire.
and
I
you
did.
should. It's your big day. You should
And
be
I
able to wear
did.
whatever you want. That's awesome.
So that's to show how much I, loved it. I've been wearing African attire from teenage. Yeah.
And this is one of your
So that's one. Actually, no, this is not. This is not African attire.
looks like
no,
much
it's
I
not,
know.
but I do like it.
It's
I
gorgeous.
do like the colors, That's what, yeah.
So what would you say is the mission statement of your companies?
Okay. I'm a social worker by trade, profession, if you like to say. And so
Gotcha.
I think it came from there. I love history because I feel like, you know your worth when you know where
Yes.
you're from.
Yes.
And in reference to the fruit, I just did the spin-off of the unhealthy stuff that people usually put on the stick for the kids. And so that's where that came from because, I love kids, I love children, I care about where they're going,
Yes.
where they're sleeping, how happy they are,
Yes.
so that's kind of the mixture. But like I said, the first logo that I had was with the clothing anyhow, was a piece of history.
Yes.
So people would usually ask where it's from, how was it made? And I try to get that information. I am originally from the Virgin Islands.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm from St. Thomas, so I don't know everything, but I read
Gotcha.
a lot, I do a lot of research. Even before I met my husband, I knew a lot about Nigeria and different things, so I get some information from him and some research.
Okay.
In reference to the fruit stick, I didn't quite have a name for it, but it's very big with the children. But I don't. But it was health. It came from that.
Okay,
It came from
okay.
that space. I just wanted
Gotcha.
to be healthy. Yeah.
So what advice would you give to people? Because now you're a social worker. You do the fruit sticks, and you also are with African clothing.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to someone who's trying to become an entrepreneur? Like, what would you say to them? Because it is not easy, and
Yeah.
you clearly are doing a great job at
No,
it.
it's not easy, but I think you have to have a love for something or interest.
Okay.
Or even like we spoke about earlier about finding your gifts.
Yes.
And so when you use them, you're enjoying yourself and you're serving others all at the same time.
Yes.
So I think even kids going away to college and doing business in college, I like to share that you should find a subject that you're interested in
Gotcha.
or have fun doing. Because
Yes.
if you do,
Yes.
then you will be happy at it and successful.
And you're getting paid to do what you love, your passion. That is awesome.
Exactly.
So what would you say has been like the difficult things, like past and present? What did you think is like the most difficult in doing your companies, your businesses?
The most difficult for me, let's say with the African attire, obviously to get more like updated stuff, and
Okay.
you want to bring it here,
Okay.
or even making it, because I do sew and I can sew,
Okay.
but I don't do the sewing because it's like too much,
Gotcha.
in reference to time.
Gotcha.
And so it's best to order them, but it takes a while to get them over. So I will say for the African attire is the supply,
Okay.
and making connections there, and with who's traveling to get the stuff together, and also the styles, keeping up with
Okay.
the styles. 'Cause
Yes.
African attire has traditional styles, and they also have new like modern styles.
Nice.
And some people like different things. Some people like the traditional wear, and some people just want everyday
Gotcha.
wear, or even business or professional wear.
Okay. And with the fruit
And with the
sticks?
fruit, with the fruit, difficult. I would say a mixture. Like sometimes you can't make one pie with just all strawberries because of some
Gotcha.
children with allergies.
Yes.
And so prior, you have to
Yes.
make sure you're communicating with who you're making it
Yes,
for.
okay.
To see if there's any child that really don't like a certain fruit or
Gotcha.
allergic to a fruit. So I'll say that's the most for that. I
Okay.
make them pretty quickly. So in reference to time for that, that's not a problem. I make them fresh, like
Okay.
right away before I deliver.
Gotcha. Well, that does take some time. That's good.
Yeah,
you
but
must
it
do really have a
tastes
passion for this. Right?
It tastes better.
So what would you attribute your success to with both companies?
Okay. I'll say with the African attire, like I said, as a child or a teenager, I wore African attire. My connection to that, and I'll attribute to my brother, who, my older brother, I have two older brothers, but this
Okay.
is my second older brother. And he's a person that always talk about history to me and Africa, and he listened to, like different music about history and stuff. So I'll say it comes from that, just the love of knowing where you
Yes.
came from. So I'll attribute that to him.
Okay. Well, does he know that you're on the show right now? Because he might want a little piece of what you're getting. Just saying. Hey, bro.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't. He's in St. Thomas right now. He's
Oh,
a
of course.
football coach. He probably have a game or something.
Gotcha.
Right now. Yeah.
Gotcha. Hey, bro. Good to see you. So what do you look for when you are partnering, like when you are going for customers? What is the one thing that you're looking for when you do go to them?
Like when you wanna help someone in any field, I feel you need to know what they like, want,
Yes.
even need.
Yes.
And so you ask those questions and try to fulfill it. Like for instance, like I just mentioned, some people like traditional wear, some
Yes.
people like modern business, like reference like that. The same with the taste
Okay.
of different fruits and stuff. So communication with your customers.
Gotcha.
And trying to satisfy whatever their needs
And
and
that's
wants
like the
are.
key part.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So this is like a tough one, but have you ever had to like turn down a customer, like ever? A client?
I'm thinking of a lady that needed, and I'm gonna go to the close with that one.
Gotcha.
And she needed not a particular size, but a particular style.
Okay.
And you're not gonna get everyone who is not understanding or reasonable. And I just it wasn't on me that I wasn't able. It was like impossible. So
Gotcha.
I was like, I can't do that, but I could do this, like that. So how I try to deal with not like turning down, but
Gotcha.
try to find another way
Yeah.
or style to do something. Yeah.
Okay. In terms of your company, what is like your long-term goal and your short-term goal for both businesses?
Okay, for short term, I'm not a social media person. So when I say that, I need to get up to speed And so, I just have the old-fashioned phone call referral.
Oh,
Like, I
okay.
don't have the Instagram. I do have a Facebook, but I don't use it much to do that.
Oh.
So, for short-term goal, I need to promote it more on social media. Yeah. Long-term, I would say eventually I would love like to have a small little store.
Okay.
Yeah. With serving.
Okay, and would you have like both businesses in one store? Or you have like one storefront for one and then another store for another?
Yeah, probably, yes.
Both
Yeah.
together?
No, probably
Oh, separate.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably
Okay.
separate. Yeah.
Okay. And what would you say is so unique about your business? Because there are many clothing stores out there and there's edible arrangements. So what's so unique about yours?
Yes, edible arrangements.
Oops.
I know, because when I thought about doing it, that was always the one that came up because they're the most
Gotcha.
popular and
Yes.
everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to get sued. That was I was worried about. But I like to say like the way it's done, I do it differently. I
Okay.
feel like I have. Well, they have bigger baskets and stuff, but I feel like I give a more individualized like fruit, and I have
Okay.
not only do I do fresh fruits on the stick,
Yes.
I do dry fruits
Dry
like on
fruits.
platters.
Okay, I've
like
never heard
yeah,
that.
like dry fruits on platters, and my fruits are like
Nice.
different. I have some fruits from like the Caribbean or Africa. I don't do just pineapples and bananas.
Wow.
Like, yeah.
How do you get that stuff over here?
Well, it's not. I don't get it over here. I shop at stores that
Got it.
supply that stuff
Gotcha.
in New York.
Okay, so like
yeah.
specialty stores and stuff.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, and like with your clothing line, what's so unique about that? Well, besides that, it's African, but it's like you really could kind of get that from different places, but it's not
You
unique like
can.
yours.
I don't know. I think in reference to price, my prices are better, and
Okay.
also I'm involved, so I could tell you what I think. In reference to my style,
Good.
I think this looks nice if you would like
Yes.
this. So I think that's the difference.
And
And not only that, I would take if you would like a certain color or order, I would try
Okay.
to place that.
Okay, so you're like a person.
Mostly you're going to the store and you're just picking what's there.
Gotcha. So you're like a personal stylist, so to say.
Yeah.
Like
And
that.
not only that, you're not sure where the clothing are coming from when you shop there.
True,
I
very
know
true.
exactly where I'm getting it
Yes.
from in Africa, and I could share that information.
Oh, wow. Okay, so what did you say is like some of your like best pieces that sells the most, or like your most favorite pieces?
I would say like a ruche,
Oh,
which
okay.
is very different for African
never heard
attire. It's like very colorful, but they ruche it with like thread, so it looks like very modern. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm thinking now about doing a bathing suit line
Ooh,
with African attire.
Yes. I just say what's so unique. That would definitely be unique.
Yeah, that
Never
is
heard that
unique.
before.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are some of the responsibilities, because there are many, but some of the responsibilities of being a business owner, especially with, well, two businesses and your career, what is like your main responsibilities of that?
I think like just keeping the supply
Okay.
like filled, not only with the fruits, more so the African attire, because that takes longer,
Yes.
like I mentioned. So you have to keep like in contact with who's gonna bring the stuff back for you.
Gotcha.
And stuff like that when they're going, when they're gonna, so you can communicate to your
Mm-hmm.
customers. So yeah, I think that's that. With the fruit, it's just kind of talking to the managers in those stores and when
Gotcha.
they're bringing in whatever.
Okay.
But yeah.
Wow. All right. So you said that your husband was in the Caribbean.
No,
Was
I'm
in-
from St.
Yeah,
Thomas.
oh, he's from Nigeria.
He's from Nigeria.
Okay.
West
How did
Africa.
you guys meet?
We met at a party. I know that's funny. If you actually look at the map, it's like I'm all the way down and he's all the way across there. We have 3 children and they say that all the time. They talk about that. They're like, wow,
Gotcha.
how did you guys meet? It's so far apart.
Yes.
Yeah, in New York, right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you've been married for how long?
Oh, wow. My eldest just made 24. So I'll say, yeah, about 23 years. Yeah, 23, 24 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were my age, 24.
No, my
Okay.
eldest is 24 and my middle is 19. He just went off to college, and then I have my 14-year-old daughter.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Wow, wow. So how do you find time for like business, career, and family? Because that's definitely difficult.
Time is very difficult.
Yes.
Time is very difficult. Yeah, it's a juggle. Like it's juggling. Yeah, you gotta juggle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. But your husband, he's here in New York.
No, he's not in New York right now.
Oh,
He's in Virginia.
Oh, okay.
But it's
okay.
okay. Yeah.
Gotcha. And he supports everything you do.
Oh yeah.
Good.
And my children, my daughter actually helped me with the fruit sticks too.
Good, nice.
Yeah,
Keep her
yeah,
involved. That's
yeah.
good. And like she's well.
She know her friends and
Yes.
what kids like at that age. No, they're
Yes.
not gonna like that, whatever, you know.
Which keeps you, good since you're not on social media, which
Yeah.
I definitely keep on there, please.
I know. Well, it's like I'm on with her because she shares everything with me. So I'm like on, you know. I just, not that I don't like social media, just that's something I need to do.
Yeah,
It's a short term.
And it'll definitely get there eventually.
Sure. Needs to happen.
And your sons, do they help you out with this as well, or they're just doing their own thing?
The boys are a little different. They would make comments and have conversation, but to physically help, maybe carrying the stuff to the car. But that's where the help ends with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And are you able to like promote your businesses with your career as social worker? Because that's amazing.
Not quite. I don't know. I guess like I feel like it's kind of my personality. I won't say I don't really promote.
Okay.
But I guess yeah, I do know some people that purchase stuff because they know me from work and stuff.
Gotcha. And so I can see that since you are a social worker, you do have a love for children, which makes it
I
easier
do.
with the fruits and everything, and even with the clothing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
And you get to know your clients and your customers because of what you do.
Yeah, I love people in general, but I really love children.
Gotcha.
Yeah, humanity,
So, what other services do you provide? Like, how are you with bookkeeping and your accountants? Do you have any of those, or like lawyers, like with contracts and stuff like that?
Yeah, I do have I think I do my own bookkeeping, you know, which, that's a long-term goal because as things get bigger and more, but, it's kind of new, so it's not as big.
Okay.
But as it gets bigger, you get more than you would have to get that. But in reference to the lawyer, I do have that in reference to, like I said, I was afraid of being sued by edible arrangement.
Right.
So that's something I did do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So since, you're not really on social media, but where could people find you so they could start, ordering your clothing and your fruits?
Well, I do have a Pinterest. I'm showing my age, right?
I do. I'm only 24.
And my email, that's it. I don't have, so it's Sandra Adawale at yahoo.com. That's my email. And the Pinterest is the same.
Okay, and just so that for our watchers, our viewers, how do you, can you spell that all out, please?
Yes, well, my first name, Sandra, as you guys know, is Sandra. Adawale is Adewale.
Okay, gotcha. And you're not on Instagram yet, or you are?
Yeah, as you said.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, you're making progress here.
Yeah.
All right. Let me think. So you've been doing this, you said, for how long again? I'm sorry.
It's been a while. I did it, like I said, for the school, little for years. I've been doing the African attire, but actually selling stuff, I would say maybe tops 4 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, and I also do like the community yard sales where you go around. I would take my African attire there. I don't do food there.
Okay.
And I would sell it extra, really low price there.
So what is your price range with that? With
With
both?
that, I have sold stuff from $10 to $200. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I do have pairs African attire that you can wear to weddings, like the groom and the
Wow. And with your fruit platters, they also vary depending on
the
the
platters.
size?
In reference to the platters, 25 to 55. They're not expensive.
Okay. And
But I make them pretty.
I'm sure. I'm dry fruits. All right.
Yeah.
And with the holiday season coming up, this is your most busiest time, or would you say it's still?
For the fruit, I'll say it's summer for the fruit.
Okay.
Yeah, but the African attire is all year round. But I do fruits mainly Memorial Day.
Gotcha.
And a lot of people ask me to do fruit for their weddings. A lot of young adults.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which would be kind of surprising because you would think they wouldn't really want
Yeah,
that.
that's what I thought with the children and the young adults. But they're like, yeah, I want that. Could you do that for my wedding? Or my niece friends would come and say, please do that for my wedding. I was like, okay. And I'll have to make it a little more classy for a wedding. There's different types,
Okay. And can you give us an idea of what you do, what kind of fruits are on there, just so I have an idea?
Sure. I do different ones. The main one I first started out with was strawberries, of course, and I mixed it with pineapples and green grapes because I just wanted the different colors so it could stand out. And I'll put the strawberry on top. Sometimes I'll cut it in half so it look like a heart on the top, stuff like that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
This sounds beautiful, actually. And how many weddings would you say that you've actually done it for?
Oh, Not much. I mainly do it, I'll say 2, but I mainly do it for the children.
Okay, so like really like children
Mainly
parties
for
and
the
like
children.
school and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, mainly for the children parties, especially pool parties.
Oh.
Yeah, like for instance, my daughter's best friend, I've done it for her pool party every year.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow. How do we get an invite
And
to
they
that?
have a big pool party
sure.
every year. All the kids from that grade go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I asked you this before, but like what advice, because like I said, it is difficult, but like who told you, how did you know that being an entrepreneur was definitely like your purpose, where you were supposed to be doing, like your calling?
I'm getting goosebumps with that question
Yeah.
because I was kind of waiting for it. It's strange because, I went to a pastor's church and he prophesies that, you have the mouth for business, you have the hands for business. And I'm like, really? And then I moved on to another, and I just kept hearing it.
Wow.
From everyone. Like, all the pets, they just kept saying that to me. I'm like, wow, really? I should really?
Yes.
I should really, they didn't say what exactly.
Right.
But they just kept saying business, business. I just kept hearing business.
And you finally received that. Did it
Yes.
say, it wasn't just one time, it was over and over, but you already knew that.
Yeah.
Wow. Did it start like at a young age, or
I don't felt like I knew.
Okay.
I do love business, and I'm fine, but I went the route of going to college and school in the 9 to 5 and stuff. So I never really thought about business because my family's not truly in business. They're like in like federal jobs and government jobs and stuff like that. But I've heard it like 3 to 4 passes, and it was in adulthood after I became social worker.
And you finally just received it and said, you know what, God, this is for me.
I need to do it. Yeah, and you try to. Not hear it in the beginning because you're thinking it's hard and I can't do it and stuff, but I kept nailing it down. Like, you're gonna do this. This is for you. Yeah.
And how did you decide it was gonna be African clothing and fruit? How did you just know it was those two? Or is it just those two?
Well, you know what? It's a lot of things, that I do.
Okay.
But like I said, I sold before. But, it's just with the kids, just asking. Like, it's just people were just coming in asking for the stuff. And that's what kind of made me fall into that, the need for it and the want. And
wow.
Yeah.
So, like, why was it fruit and not, like, peanuts or something? Because, I mean, there's candy everywhere, but how was it fruit? Something so healthy.
I guess I just love fruit. I think it was healthy. Like I said, I tried to do a spin-off of the regular chicken. And I said for kids, because you can bring nuts, you can bring a lot of stuff to school.
Yes.
And I was a, what do you call them, a class mom once.
Oh, okay.
That's how it started actually too with the fruit. I was a class mom and there was a kid in the class that was allergic to like a lot of things.
Wow.
And I was like, how about fruit? And I tried it, the kids loved it. And they've been asking for that for a while. So I just remember that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that was like 2nd grade. Yeah, and my daughter's in 9th now, so there's a group of kids that actually know that I'm the one that do the fruit sticks.
Yes.
Because they're all in 9th grade now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's good. They want to do something that's actually healthy and that's going to help them out.
It's surprising. And one time, actually, because I do it differently. I don't do it on platters, especially for the kids.
Okay.
I do the watermelon, I cut it and scoop it out so it can look like a bowl. And then I put their sticks in there. And it was sitting next to Jolly Ranchers on the table, and Jolly Ranchers are on the table, and the kids are running around because it's in the backyard of the pool, and they're coming and taking a woo, wow. And there was a younger kid, and I was finishing it out because I was rushed. I didn't finish, and I got there, and I was doing my finishing touches. And he was like, wow, this is awesome. He said, did you create these? Did you make these? And I didn't think of it as a creation or the way he was describing it, like he loved it. And I was like, yeah, I guess I did. I was like, what? I was like, you liked them? He stood there and he ate like 7. It was so cute. It was so funny because he was a younger brother from one of the older kids' party. It was so funny. And I found out later who he was. I didn't know who he was when he was speaking to me.
Right.
And I'm like, who is this kid? It was so cute, so funny.
So your biggest clientele with the fruit would definitely be kids, definitely, hands down.
Yeah, the kids love it. The young adults too, like I said, what they always say, you're gonna do that at my wedding.
Yes,
like,
yes, okay.
Even if they don't have dates, that's what they say. I want that at my wedding. That's what they say.
Wow. Yeah. And how long does it take you to do one masterpiece? Notice I said it was a masterpiece.
Amazingly, it takes me 20 minutes to do the simple ones. that I do.
bad.
Yeah, it takes 20 minutes. I say, how much time do I have when I started doing it with my
Yes,
daughter?
yes.
It takes 20 minutes, but if I'm doing a lot, obviously it's going to take a little more. But
Okay.
yeah, I do a big plate. I get the the stick sellers are like 100. I'll do 50, and then just add more.
Wow. And like
But
one
20
stick,
minutes is the shortest time.
and
yeah.
what's the longest? Just like approximate.
Oh, not 2 hours or an hour, maybe an
Oh,
hour. Yeah,
that's
maybe
not
an
bad
hour.
at all.
Yeah, definitely an hour. Yeah,
Wow.
I do it fast. I have it in my mind. I have the picture of what I want to do, cut them up and put them on and wrap them pretty and.
And how do you know what to do? Like when do you like get it from when you see the client, or is it like, you know what, tell me what you want because I don't really know what I'm doing?
It's funny because, I was like, should I even say this? But it started out with me saying, whatever's on sale today is what's going to be on the stick. And I started doing that, and I make it pretty, but I make sure I have like a berry and a different taste. Like, the pineapple have a different taste from a kiwi, like that.
Okay.
Just so you can have the different taste all the way
Yes.
on the stick.
And you always taste your product before you serve it.
Definitely.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's I see why you
Watching.
stay so darn slim. I need to do whatever you're doing.
Thank you.
And with African clothing, I believe you said how you got into that before, but what was it that was like, you know what, I want to do African clothing, not just, the next couture line. So I want African clothing.
I always love African clothing. I told you that I sew. I used to sew, but when I went away to college, I kind of went off on that because I was
Gotcha.
too busy reading.
Absolutely.
But I remember I was like, wow, I think I was like 11, and I made, remember the kente cloth? When I was
Yes.
very popular?
Yes.
I made like a Barbie skirt. And it had pleats and the little waist and everything, and I actually still have that. And I gave it to my daughter. And that's how much I like African attire, because I just think it tells a story.
Yes.
And so, I think from then I love African attire. But I guess just meeting my husband and having the availability
Gotcha.
of it is what really,
Wow, kind of just said, yeah, this is it. The stamp
Yeah.
of-
And
Gotcha.
actually, I was gonna do like curtains and sheets and pillowcases first when I first graduated from college, and you have your degree and you're like, I'm gonna get a job tomorrow, and that didn't happen. And I was like, I'm gonna make but I didn't. He didn't want me to, so I didn't.
And you never did?
I never did, but I did the clothing because they were there and
Okay.
prepared already. It
Okay.
wasn't something I had to sew. I didn't mind. I
Gotcha.
loved it, but yeah.
Well, how about doing it now? 'Cause that's
Yeah,
definitely
right,
a need.
exactly.
Why not? Absolutely.
Yeah, and people are definitely wearing it,
Absolutely.
right?
I mean, I
So-
wish you had some here.
All right,
I'm about to look through your
right.
kente cloth skirt.
I
I'm like, do I have to
know.
fight your daughter for it? I'm kidding.
I
Absolute
know
kidding.
you are.
Wow. Okay, so what do you think is like the next goal for you? Like, is it just going to be those two, or do you have something else in mind? Because I see your
Yeah, I
brain
have-
is working.
Yeah, I have a lot in mind. For instance, I was just telling my sister today, actually, and my niece, that I noticed that a lot of times when you go out in the street in New York, that African Americans, people of color in general, is purchasing. And the other side is selling. But I was
Yes.
mainly thinking about like, the hot dog carts or the ices. I was in the city.
Okay.
And I said, why don't we do that? Like, is it an issue with the license, or do we not know how to get them? I said, maybe that's something I'll do.
Oh, I see.
Maybe I'll do a program showing people of color how you help them with the paperwork.
Oh my
how to go
gosh.
about getting licensed for
Yes.
different businesses, where their office is, who you have to speak to, where you call, how long it takes, like stuff like that.
Wow. And if the world was your oyster, which it is, how long do you think it would take you to actually get to that point?
Get that business together.
Yeah.
It's according to I guess a good year, because
Okay, that's not long.
because you're gonna have, it's a lot, because you have to deal with the government agencies who
Yes.
deliver these things, and
Yes.
clientele too.
Wow.
Like what would be the population that you would try to get to do this first? What
Right.
age? What location and stuff like that.
Well, what I will definitely say is, I don't know my clothing size, but I will find out at the end of the show, because I do
Sure.
see that I want a lot of what you're selling, because
For
I've
sure.
seen your art.
Oh, thank
And with your fruit platter, like I said, I'm getting married, so
Oh,
I will
yeah?
definitely be coming to
Okay.
you very, very soon. Well, Sandra, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining
here.
us. I
Thank
look
you.
forward to seeing with you soon. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. This is Sandra. Thank you for being with us. Again, my name is Angela C. Coles. And not only be a blessing, but bless others. Thank you.
Thank you.